my name is Jennifer Lenore, and thanks for checking out our channel. We are a family dedicated to being with family and creating our family connection through many different things, whether it's work, school, or play. The other day I was listening to a podcast and I heard something that just smacked me in the face and really pushed me into action. We have started homeschooling again this week, and it has been relatively simple. So I've been able to start touching base on other parts of the household that I would like improvement on. I actually created a goal setting chart to help me get my thoughts in order, but then I was kind of just stuck at that. I had all these great ideas, but I wasn't changing anything. And so when I was listening to this podcast the other day, what she said was, if you aren't changing it, you are choosing it. That smacked me in the face, and I was like, oh shoot, that really sucks, because my house not being organized how I want, that's on me. I'm choosing it to be dusty and unorganized. And me not actually planning all of these trips with family, but saying, hey, I want to go to Australia or go to Florida to the beach, but I don't actually do anything about it. I'm choosing to not go, which, I want to spend that family time together. So hearing that has really inspired me, and I'm hoping that my little thoughts on it for our family can help you really make a move on things that you want to grow and improve on. When I sat down with my notebook to decide on these things that I actually wanted to change, I found 4 categories that really motivated me to plan it out to make that change. The first was family, the second was education, the third was home, and the fourth was self-care. First, family. Family is huge to us. My husband is in real estate and also a sales coach. And so we are blessed with the opportunity to spend tons of time together. For the most part, we could be traveling and he can work from anywhere. That has been a huge blessing for our family, but it means that I've kind of overlooked some of the little things. One being family dinner. We used to be so good at family dinner together, and when we actually owned our own farm, I'll tell you more about that later, but when we owned our own farm, we actually had breakfast and lunch and dinner together every single day. It was really good for our family unit and connection, and I miss that. So I haven't been the best about it recently, but hearing that I was choosing to not have those family meals together really made me want to change. I haven't figured out how I'm going to remind myself every day yet. Maybe just set an alarm in my phone, but I am going to have a goal to cook and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with my kids, and breakfast and dinner at least with my husband on days that he's not working from home or we're not traveling. The next thing that was on my list of things that I would like to improve upon to change in our home life is our home. Keeping our home in more of a minimalistic standpoint, that we don't have 50 million toys everywhere, that I don't have a pile of fabric building up without being used. And that's going to help us have less dust in our home, and it's quite frankly gonna create less things for me to clean to begin with. I find it to be more enjoyable to be around family when we're not sitting on a bunch of toys or clutter. I feel that it is easier to travel when you have less to clean up, because then you're coming home to a clean house, whether you cleaned the day before or not. We enjoy traveling, and so why do we need to have tons of things at home when we really should be out in nature and out around the world exploring together? The next thing on my list was education, both for the kids and myself, but mine I kind of grouped into self-care. So since I am homeschooling Logan, who is 7, and in second grade, and Merida, who is just barely a year, so she will be homeschooled eventually. But when I think about the education for Logan, I want to integrate things that were impactful for me when I was growing up and learning in a public school education, but also give him the freedom and the knowledge that what he wants to learn about is important. So I took this goal setting worksheet that I created and I wrote down every single little tiny thing that I wanted to do with him this year. And then I narrowed it down to the 10 things that would possibly be able to be done. And then I wrote down the 5 things that must be done, whether it's on a daily or a weekly basis. And so each morning I have been checking in with that list and I say, okay, he did his math. Okay, he did his writing. Okay, we did our reading. And once those 5 things are checked off, we go to the next list and say, hey, what do we want to do today? Putting these things in a priority list has really helped me keep my day organized and knowing what is going to happen first thing in the morning and what can happen later in the day. And it really has helped give Logan some great routine, knowing that each morning he wakes up, he gets dressed and does his bed. Then after breakfast, we jump right into a little bit of schoolwork. And we take lots of breaks throughout the day. We go outside and we play with the dogs, we play on the swing set. He practices with his bow or he practices with his baseball. And we just really break up our life into smaller sections because at 7 years old, it's really easy to get overwhelmed and it's also really easy to get distracted. When you're a mom with a 1-year-old, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and get very distracted as well. So it makes it a little easier on the both of us, just having those mental breaks outside in nature and enjoying each other, not so focused on how much he's writing as to how much of a relationship we can cultivate together. The last item that I put on my list of things that I wanted to improve was self-care. My husband will tell you till he's blue in the face that I am the worst about it. I get a crazy amount of mom guilt whenever I leave the kids with anybody, even if it's my husband, because I feel that I need to take care of them. They are my responsibility. I can only do it. I'm going to do it better than everybody else. Every single excuse in the book to not take care of myself, I throw. And so self-care is something my husband has been really pushing me to pay more attention to. And I keep telling him, I know, I'll get to it. Well, I never do. My mother-in-law came out about a month ago and she said, let's go get our nails done. And I was like, oh, that means I have to leave the kids with them and organize it that it's on a day that he's not working. But you know what? I said, okay, let's do it. Because every once in a while, you just have to leap. My biggest hang up and the reason that I don't do these things is because I just don't say yes. I don't schedule the appointment. I keep telling everybody I need a massage. Do I go and get an appointment for a massage and arrange for somebody to watch the kids? No, I don't do it. I choose not to do it. I choose not to take that step to take care of myself. And being a mom that you're home all the time, cleaning the house, taking care of the kids, it can get extremely stressful that you have to make sure you are participating in that self-care because you are going to go crazy if you don't. And that's definitely something that I have been experiencing this past year. I have given everything into our home and my kids and just haven't poured back into myself. It has given my husband and kids a very tired and worn out mom and wife, and I can't do that. That's not fair to them and it's not fair to me. I had to choose to do the things that I want to do, and making that choice means I had to take action. One of the things I have to do better about is saying, yes, I'm going to do this, and acting upon it. But then after I act upon it, I need to enjoy it. When we went out and we got our nails done, I was worrying the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh, I told him I'd be home at this time and they're going a little bit slower. Like, I'm not gonna get home for him. I wasn't enjoying it. So I need to be better about acting and enjoying. When I have a clean house, I already did the action. Now sit down and enjoy it. One of the things that I did recently do to act and then enjoy is I got a gym membership. I have not had the most pride in my own body after having a baby. And of course, everybody says, it's a mom body, it's different. Well, I didn't feel like me. It is hard to feel like yourself and figure out who you are now that you're taking care of this extra little person and you're pouring everything into them, but now you need to figure out who you are again. And so when I signed up for gym membership, part of the motivation was that they have massage chairs and hydro beds. And I said, great, two birds, one stone. I get to have some alone time and work on my self-image, and I also get to get a massage. And I don't have to book a massage every time. I can just go to the gym, click the button, say, hey, I'm getting a massage now, bye-bye. So even if I don't even want to go and work out, I can dress up and pretend and just go do massages the whole time. That doesn't sound like a bad idea, actually, one of these days. What are you thinking that you want to change in your life, but choosing not to? Let me know, because I have an idea of the things I can start with, but maybe something that is on your mind and that is just really nagging at you is something I should probably think about too. Let me know below. Please subscribe and comment. Tell me what you think. And if there's anything that really spoke to you, what you aren't changing, you are choosing. I can't believe how deeply that struck a chord with my heart. So just listen to that again. What you aren't changing, you are choosing. It makes a difference when you are choosing to make a better life for yourself. That is one of the biggest goals for our family, and creating that connection that is going to last forever, and having our kids see how much love and effort we put into creating that amazing family environment. I am choosing to change. Are you going to choose to change? Let me know below. What are you going to choose to change today? Even if it's something so simple, let me know. Please don't forget to subscribe below, like, comment, tell me what you think, okay? I look forward to chatting with you.